Sachin Lati is training for a summer getaway that's going to look a lot different this year.
The ultimate goal, which would be in 2025, and that is to run across Canada. It's a daunting task, but I like setting massive goals and see what happens.
So in 3 years, I've run 14,000 kilometers and raised $80,000 and created a nonprofit to support veterans and first responders. I'm about to run across the country next year and be the first person of color to do it, and the goal is to raise $1 million. And man, 5 years ago, I couldn't even think of that being a possibility. I think I've had a pretty serious level of anxiety and depression most of my life. I just didn't know, right? Because back then we didn't really talk about it. I worked for the Canada Border Services Agency, so it was Customs, Immigration, Border Patrol kind of thing. And you're going through life wearing different masks, being a person that I thought others wanted me to be. I was presented with the person who I actually was, not the person who I thought I was, right? And there was a dissonance there. So it spiraled me down. I hadn't ran, so I was like, okay, cool, man, I hate running, let's give this a go. So I kind of started that process of just learning how to run.
This is something I find very interesting. You finished that first fundraiser, that first big run, the 100K. But things weren't great for you from a mental health perspective at that point. It wasn't like, okay, now I have found the fix for me and I can move on. You found yourself actually being like, crap, I'm really struggling still.
I was worse than I was. I was way worse. Like, it was a challenge. Really depressed, unhappy with my life and the direction it was going in. And that's when it kind of hit me. I was like, oh, I'm just kind of waiting to die here. I guess for me, thinking of being of service and thinking of others allows me not to think about myself all the time. And I think a lot of times people reflect only in their own head who they are and all that stuff. If I'm thinking about someone else, that means I'm not thinking about myself. And I think that's been the fundamental thing that's been helpful for me. And, the level of purpose that I've attached to my life over the last 4 years is quite substantial and significant. And so I'm speaking in the moment of, I'm still in it, right? I've set a 5-year plan for myself that culminates next June. And I've been working every single day towards it for the last 4 years, consistently, physically, mentally, emotionally, spiritually, all the things to execute against the goal, which is next June.